So welcome everyone to this very exciting summer solstice flow. My name is Elsbeth. I'm a certified yoga instructor with Ion Yoga, who organizes the Blue Matter Project. I'm very excited to be here today to guide everybody through what is, a very rare occasion is the summer solstice. One day a year where we have the most hours of sunshine. You'll start to see the weather changing. We've had some really great weather the last few days. And for our own personal health and self-care, and for our own physical movement, this is a really great opportunity for us to connect as a community and really share our energy and our love during this time where we have the opportunity to maybe go outside a bit more and enjoy later days, and to really just share positive love and affirmations with each other. So there will be some sense of heart opening where we tend to feel some vulnerability or maybe tightness, or you may feel really good feelings in that heart center and in the shoulders, or maybe you're just sitting at a desk all day like me and you can really use a bit of that heart and shoulder opening. So this will be a great opportunity for you as well. I'll try to give lots of options, but take it at your own pace. You know your body best. If something doesn't feel good, feel free to just rest on your back or in child's pose and rejoin us whenever you're ready. Particularly for our flow practice and understanding that this is a time of year where there's a lot of heat, both externally and internally. Try and think of your breath as a cooling factor to that heat that you may be creating yourself. Okay, so anytime you feel like maybe you're hyperventilating or the heart rate starts to increase, come back to your breath and use that as a cooling sensation throughout the whole body. So maybe that might help as we go through it. All right, so let's get started right on our backs today. Allowing the arms to open out wide. Extending the feet out to the corners of your space if that feels good. And if you'd like, maybe even reaching the arms overhead, creating this cactus shape with the arms. So bending the elbows to 90 degrees. Maybe bringing the fingers to touch, that might be a bit much, or lifting the shoulders off the floor. So maybe just coming to cactus arms. So already starting to feel this sense of openness across the chest. And then just close into the eyes and take a nice deep breath in through the nose. Open the mouth, exhale. Starting to release some of that heat. Inhale again through the nose. Exhale through the mouth. And then this time you're going to inhale through the nose nice and slow. And then exhale through the nose again. And then continuing your breath here at your pace, in and out of the nose. Starting to feel the points of contact that your body makes with the floor. With every exhale, see if you can melt into those spaces. Just feel the fingers start to relax. The shoulders getting a bit heavier into the floor. Feeling the back of the heart starting to melt down into the ground. The hips get heavier. The toes rolling out to the corners of your space. Starting to invite good energy into our bodies before we start to move. Let's take 2 more breaths here together. And then from there, start to wiggle into your fingers and your toes, rolling the wrists and ankles in one direction and the other. And if your hands are not already overhead, bring them to that cactus shape. So elbows bent 90 degrees in line with your shoulders. Spread those fingertips nice and wide and really press the back of the heart into the floor. And feel that point of contact between the back of the heart, the head, across the entire backs of the arms. And with the next inhale, you're going to slowly bring those fingertips to touch overhead, making that diamond shape. If the arms start to lift, press them back into the floor. And then exhale, slowly bring those elbows back to cactus. Again, inhale, gently bringing those fingertips to touch overhead, Maybe they touch, maybe they stay a little bit apart, that's fine. Exhale, bring them back to cactus. Let's do one more. Inhale, bringing the fingertips towards each other. Exhale, slowly bring them back to cactus. Nice, and then let's hug the knees into chest. Grab a hold of the shins. Give yourself a nice little hug here. Maybe rocking side to side, forward and back. Just massaging out the low back. Giving that space some love. And then slip the hands behind the thighs and start to rock forward and back, massaging out the whole spine. As many times as you need to, eventually crossing the ankles, coming over the ankles into your tabletop position on the hands and knees. Spreading the fingers nice and wide, wrists underneath shoulders, knees underneath the hips. Feel it nice and long through the spine, so crown of the head reaching forward. So the tendency here to gaze back. Find a nice long neck, gaze just past your fingertips. Let's find some cat-cows to get into our breath and our back on the inhale, dropping the belly, gaze forward and up. Really feel the heart opening here. Roll the shoulders back. And then exhale, round through the spine, pressing the floor away, look towards the belly button. Again, inhale, drop the belly, gaze forward and up. See if you're noticing if you're rushing the breath. See if you can slow it down to the movement of your body and vice versa. Slow your movement down to your breath. One more time. Inhale, drop the belly, find that cow posture. Exhale, round through the spine. Lift the spine up towards the ceiling. Nice. Come back to a flat spine. Neck nice and long. With the next inhale, you're going to reach the right fingertips forward, left foot kicks back. Keep the left toes pointing towards the ground, knee pointing towards the ground. So you're extending nice and long through the heel and the right fingertips. Take one more breath in here to reach a little bit longer. Exhale, bring elbow to knee. Find that angry cat rounding through the spine. Again, inhale, reach nice and long. Exhale, bring elbow to knee. One more. Inhale to reach nice and long. Exhale, elbow to knee. This time you're going to inhale to reach nice and long. On the exhale, I want you to kick the left foot up towards the ceiling. Reach back with the right hand. Maybe you can catch the toes. If not, just think about kicking that heel up towards the ceiling and reaching back with the right hand. If you can catch the toes, think about pulling the low belly in and kicking into that hand, trying to keep your gaze forward. Let's take one more deep breath in here. And then slowly exhale, bring both hands and knees back to the floor into tabletop position. Take a nice breath there. If you want to take another cat-cow, fleshing that out, but go for it. And then with the next breath in, let's take opposite hand. Left hand reaches forward, right foot kicks back. Keep pressing into the floor through that right hand and the left knee as you grow longer through opposite hand and foot towards the front and back of your space. Take another inhale to reach a little bit longer. Exhale, elbow to knee, round through the spine. Inhale, reaching nice and long. Slow though with your breath. Exhale, elbow to knee. One more here. Inhale, reaching nice and long. Exhale, elbow to knee. Take another inhale to reach long. On the exhale, bend the back knee. Reach back through the left hand. Again, if you can catch the toes, fine. Hold that. Kick into the hand and pull the low belly in. Otherwise, kick up towards the ceiling and reach back with the left hand. Let's take one more breath in. Slow exhale, release hand and knee back to the floor. Beautiful. Let's tuck the toes under. Lift the knees to hover 1 inch above the floor. Floating tabletop. Starting to feel some fire into the belly. Keep the neck long. Let's take one more deep breath in. On the exhale, send the hips back towards the heels
and then up towards the sky for your first downward facing dog. Pedal up the feet if you want, bending one knee at a time. If you feel like you're really far forward in almost a plank position, walk the feet in a bit and bend your knees a lot, bringing your belly towards the upper thighs. You want to feel this especially through the back, and if you're feeling this too much in the legs, consider bending the knees a little bit more. Shake the head a little bit, yes, no. Wiggle that tailbone up and back. They call this downward dog for a reason. Think about yourself as a dog, wiggling that tail. So excited to be moving in the middle of the day. And then let's find our first version of your flow or your vinyasa for today, so you know what your options are. On the inhale, you're going to come forward into a high plank, shoulders over wrists. From there, you're going to exhale, drop the knees to the floor, and lower chin and chest to the floor, and then release the belly down. Hands under shoulders. Inhale, lift through the heart. This is your baby cobra. Roll the shoulders back. Feel the heart opening forward. Exhale, lower back down. Press onto the hands and knees in your tabletop. Tuck the toes under, downward facing dog. So you can incorporate any of those options into your flow today. If you want to take another option or variation and you already know where you want to go with your flow, that's fine. Otherwise, the other option you can take today is, let's come forward, inhale to your high plank, shoulders over wrists. Exhale, drop the knees and just lower halfway to elbow height, chaturanga. Pull the shoulders back. Inhale, press the arms straight as you lift the heart forward, maybe lift the knees off the floor. Upward facing dog. Exhale, lift through the hips, pull that low belly in to your downward facing dog. Okay, so those are the two options I'm going to use today for flows. Again, if you have any other option or variation, you can go for it. Just try to think about keeping that heart open and shoulders relaxed. All right, so let's look towards the hands, bend the knees, and take a step or hop to the front of your mat. Big toes to touch, heels slightly apart. Inhale, hands either to the floor, to the shins, or the upper thighs to find a halfway lift, flat back. Hold there, one more breath in, reach through the crown of the head, pull the shoulders back. And then exhale, fold over the legs, take a nice soft bend into the knees. Let's hang out here for a second, maybe grab opposite elbows. Just let the back get nice and long. Crown of the head maybe shakes yes, no. And then release the fingertips towards the floor. Slowly drag the hands up the ankles, over the shins, over the knees, over the thighs. Making your way up to stand. From there, let's bring the hands to heart center. Finding equal stance here. Close into the eyes if that's comfortable. Noticing the natural sway over your feet. Feel that connection of your hands to touch here at the heart center. Feeling that connection in your own body and with your breath. If you'd like to set your own intention here, I invite you to do so. I also offer you an intention of giving yourself loving kindness and sending out loving kindness to the world. Let's take one more breath here. And let's plant that intention for the rest of our time together, blinking the eyes open if they're closed. Let's find our first sun salutation. On the inhale, reach the arms up and overhead, palms to touch, stretch the heart. Exhale, hinge from the hips, forward fold over the legs. Inhale, lift halfway, find that flat back. On the exhale, you're going to plant the hands, step or hop back to your plank, your choice to move through your flow. Moving with your breath, notice if you're rushing the breath, see if you can slow it down to the movement, especially as you exhale back into your downward facing dog. See if you can slow down your exhale, letting all the air go. Let's take an inhale here in downward facing dog. Exhale, let that go. From there, bend the knees, look forward, step or hop to the front of your mat. Inhale, lift halfway, find a flat back. Exhale, forward fold. Root to rise, reach the arms up, look up, palms to touch. Exhale, forward fold right away. Halfway lift, flat back, inhale. Exhale, plant the hands, step or hop back, finding your flow. Relax the shoulders, stretch through the heart. Slow the exhale down to your downward facing dog. Take one breath in, one breath out. Bend the knees, look forward, step or hop to the front of your mat. Inhale, lift halfway, find a flat back. Exhale, forward fold. Root to rise, reach up, look up, palms to touch. Inhale. Exhale, forward fold. Last one here. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, find your flow. Maybe close the eyes, remove the visual stimulation. Notice where you're feeling the flow in your body. Meeting back in downward facing dog. Take a full breath in, full breath out. With your next inhale, kick the right foot high, three-legged dog. Point the right toes towards the ground, the right knee towards the ground. Don't worry about how high that foot is. Think about kicking the back wall, lengthening your spine. And then worry about lifting the heel up another inch. Take one more breath in. Exhale, bring knee to nose. Squeeze it in, find that angry cat, rounded spine. And then inhale, kick that right foot up and back, three-legged dog. See if you can slow the movement with your breath. Exhale, knee to nose, squeeze it in. One more, inhale, up and back. Exhale, knee to nose. And then look between the hands, plant the foot down there. Nice. Release the back knee to the floor. Release the tops of the toes to the floor. From there, make sure that the right ankle is underneath the knee to protect the joints there. And then when you're ready, let's rise up with the hands. Find palms to touch. Or if the shoulders are really tight, just open the hands to shoulder width apart. From there, take another inhale to lengthen up through the crown of the head. Relax the shoulders down the back. Exhale, see if you can sink the hips forward another inch. Maybe start to draw the hands back behind you. Take another inhale to lengthen. Exhale, maybe sink or draw the heart further back. One more inhale here. Exhale, you're going to bring the hands to the floor, framing the right foot, and then straighten through the right knee, finding a half split, so pulling the hips back behind you. If you need to, hands can come to hips, or maybe you have some blocks or books to support you, otherwise fingertips just lightly on the floor. And then think about lifting the heart forward, so look forward. Keep pulling that right hip point back behind you. And then we're going to find some gentle movement back and forth to get into the hips here. So keep the heart facing forward. On the inhale, walk the hands forward, bend into the right knee, finding that lunge. Exhale, pull back, straightening the right knee. Keep the heart facing forward. Inhale, walk forward, bend into that front knee. Exhale, pull back into the half splits. One more, inhale, walking forward. Exhale to walk back. This time you're gonna inhale, come forward. Tuck the back toes under, lift the back knee off the floor, finding that power lunge. Fingertips light on the floor. When you're ready, let's inhale, lift the heart forward. Exhale, plant the hands, step back to your plank. Option to take one more breath in here, and you can move into downward dog, or let's find a flow. Moving with your breath. Meeting back in downward facing dog. Nice, let's take a nice deep breath in together through the nose. Open the mouth, sigh it out. From there, let's inhale, kick the left foot up and back, three-legged dog. Squaring the hips towards the ground, point the left toes towards the ground, and think about kicking the back wall first. And then when you can't kick back anymore, then lift that heel up towards the sky. Take one more inhale to lift. Exhale, knee to nose, round through the spine. Slowly inhale, kick that foot up and back. Exhale, knee to nose. One more, inhale, up and back. Exhale, knee to nose, squeeze it in, look between the hands and plant the foot down there. Drop down to the back knee, relax the back toes to the floor. Nice, making sure that that front ankle is underneath the knee to protect the joints. And then when you're ready, rise up with the hands. Again, maybe palms to touch or hands shoulder width apart. Sinking down through the hips, lift the heart even more on the inhale. Exhale, maybe sink down, maybe release the heart back in space. Take another inhale to lift through the crown of the head, shoulders pull down the back. Exhale, maybe sink the hips or drop the heart another inch. Take one more breath in here. Exhale, hands to the floor, framing the left foot, and then pull the hips back, finding that half splits. And once you find your steadiness there, then see if you want to make some minor adjustments here. Maybe getting more stretch to the back of the left leg by pulling that left hip point back behind you. Maybe finding more length through the spine by lifting the heart forward. Let's take one more breath and then we'll move forward and back. So with your next inhale, walk the hands forward, bending into that front knee. Keep the heart lifted forward. Exhale, pull back, finding that half splits. Try to keep the heart lifting forward, shoulders pulling back. Again, inhale, bend that front knee, come into that lunge. Exhale to pull back. Last one, inhale into your lunge. Exhale to pull back. This time you're going to inhale, walk the hands forward, bend into the left knee, tuck the back toes under, lift that back knee off the floor. Keep the heart facing forward, take an inhale there. On the exhale, plant the hands, step back to plank. Again, your choice. Move back into downward dog or find your flow. Know that flows are always optional. It's always a good opportunity to reset your breath. Let's take one full breath together in downward dog. From there, inhale forward to your high plank. Exhale from the toes or knees, lower all the way down to the belly. From there, you're going to extend the right arm out to either a cactus shape, so bent 90 degrees, or straight out in front. If you start in the T, that'll be less intense, and then you can always move back into the cactus arm, and you'll see what we're doing here. We're doing a shoulder opener. So either straight out or in a cactus shape, and then you're going to bend into the left knee, and you're going to press into the left hand to roll over onto your right hip, and that toe, the top foot can maybe find the floor behind you. Relax the ear to the floor. I'm just going to turn the other way so that you guys can see me and I can see you. So you're rolling over, that back foot maybe finds the floor behind you. If not, you can just roll a bit more onto your front, or maybe extend that arm straight out in front. If you feel like you have some more space in that shoulder, it's a really small joint here. Lots of small tendons, they're very thin. So just be aware of that intensity and how far you want to go. You can also wrap the left hand behind you. Let's take one more breath in. One more breath out. Nice, and then gently roll back onto your belly. From there, you're gonna bend into the right knee, and you're gonna reach back through the right hand to catch the toes. Chin can be rested, and you can also use the left hand underneath the forehead for support here, or keep it straight out in front. So a few options there, either hand under the forehead or straight out in front. You can stay right here on your belly, pulling that heel in closer to the tailbone, getting a nice stretch through the quad. Or maybe start to kick into that hand, like we're finding a dancer's pose on our belly, maybe coming up onto the front fingertips, lifting the heart, maybe floating that front hand. Take another breath in to lengthen, feel yourself lifting a little bit higher. And then exhale, release everything down to the ground, release the hands behind you, right here to the floor. You can wiggle your hips a little bit side to side, releasing that out. And then let's come on to the other side for our shoulder opener. So now left hand either to a cactus or to a T. Right hand supports the opposite shoulder, bring your chin through center, bending into the right knee this time, and rolling on to that the left hip. And I'll just turn around again so I'm facing everyone. So we're rolled over this time onto our left hip, getting some openness through that left shoulder. Again, your choice if you want to switch from a T or a cactus arm, just roll back onto your front before you do that. And if you want, maybe wrapping the opposite hand behind you, just being super aware, maybe close the eyes and really notice what's happening in that left shoulder. Let's take one more breath here. And then gently roll back onto your front. And then we're going to come onto the opposite side for that quad stretch. So you're going to bend into the left knee, reach back through the left hand to catch the left toes. Right hand either under the forehead or straight out in front. And then you can start to kick into that back hand. Maybe lift the heart off the floor, maybe float that front hand. Notice if you're holding the breath here, lots of openness through the front of the body. See if you can find a bit more slow ebb and flow with your breath. Let's find one more deep inhale. Slowly exhale, release everything down, reach the hands behind you, left ear to the floor. Just pausing there for a moment, maybe wiggling the hips side to side. And then bring your chin through center, hands underneath shoulders. Tuck the toes under, lift the kneecaps off the floor. Your choice here, either inhale, press up to a high plank, or come back through tabletop. And let's meet in downward facing dog. Nice, from there, let's inhale, kick the right foot up and back, three-legged dog. Exhale, bring right knee to nose and quietly step between the hands right away. So we're high on the back toes this time. See if you can come even further forward onto those back toes, making sure the front knee is still over the ankle. And then when you're ready, let's rise up through the hands, finding a high lunge. So we're gonna get really into the legs here, finding that heart opening. So any vulnerability you might feel through the heart center or the low back, be aware of that. To reduce this, you can always come down to the back knee or tuck the hips under, finding a bit more support for the low back here. Okay, reaching up through the hands, either hands to touch or shoulder width apart again. Let's take an inhale to lengthen up through the crown of the head. Exhale, maybe sink another inch forward or even a millimeter. From here, you're going to inhale, open the elbows to cactus arms. Okay, so nice and wide. Take another inhale to lift that heart forward, puff out your chest, feel nice and proud. Exhale, maybe sink 1 inch through that front knee. Awesome, and then inhale, you're going to reach up through the hands. And this is where we're going to find some balance. On the exhale, I want you to bring that back knee all the way forward and up to hip height, and bring the elbows beside you like a crunch. Good, so the first one will be a little bit tricky. We're gonna do that a few times. Okay, nice, so then let's take a breath here. Feel grounded through that standing leg. And then slowly step back with the left foot. Inhale, reach the arms back up. Beautiful. Exhale, cactus the elbows, maybe release the heart back an inch. Inhale, come back through center, reach the arms up. Exhale, bring that back knee forward enough. Slower you go, the more controlled. Crunch the elbows in beside you. Nice, let's do one more. Inhale, step back into your high lunge, nice and slow. Exhale, cactus the arms, release the heart up, any amount. Nice, inhale, let's reach the arms back up. And then this time you're gonna forward fold, hands towards the floor. You can step the back foot in a bit. We're setting up for pyramid pose here. So straighten through that front knee. Back foot is at a 45-degree angle. Pull the right hip point back behind you. You can stay here with the fingertips towards the floor. If that's really far, hands can come to hips, or you can get a really good core workout here, reaching the arms forward, maybe reaching the right hand back behind you, finding a twist. So a few options there. But wherever you are, if you're in the fold, think about lifting the heart forward, finding a nice flat back. Let's take one more breath in. Slowly exhale. Good, and then let's bring the hands to the floor if they're not already there. Step the back foot back into your lunge, coming up onto the toes. Look forward, lift the heart, take an inhale. Exhale, plant through the hands, step back to your plank. Your choice to take a flow here or meet in downward facing dog. Let's take a nice deep breath in through the nose. Open the mouth, sigh out. From there, let's bring the knees to the floor. Out nice and wide, toes to touch, take a child's pose. Releasing the heart and forehead to the ground. Take one more deep breath in. Slowly exhale, let it go. And then gently come forward. Let's tuck the toes under, meet back in downward facing dog. We've got one more side to go here. So with the next inhale, kick that left foot up and back, three-legged dog. Exhale, knee to nose. Quietly step between the hands. From there, right when you're feeling steady, nice and high on the back toes, rise up through the hands, finding your high lunge. A lot of people think we should feel super steady in our high lunge. It's actually normal. It's good for your ankles to be shaking a little. It means that those muscles are working to stabilize. So embrace that, okay? We're not trying to find pure stillness in the body. We want those muscles to be shaking because they're working. All right, from here, take an inhale to lift a little bit higher through the crown of the head. Exhale, bend the elbows to cactus arms. Stay there, or maybe start to release the heart back an inch. Inhale, come back up with the arms, high lunge. Exhale, bring the right knee forward and up to hip height, crunch the elbows in. Good. Inhale, slowly step back into that high lunge. Reach the arms up, see if you can move super slow through this. Exhale, bend the elbows to cactus arms, release the heart back. Inhale, reach up through the arms. Exhale, bring that back knee forward and up. Crunch the elbows in, pull the low belly button in. One more time. Inhale, step back into your high lunge. You fall out, just take a breath, come back in. Exhale, cactus the elbows. Inhale to reach up. Exhale, bring the back knee forward and up. Crunch it in. Beautiful. Inhale, step back. Find that high lunge. Exhale, forward fold, hands towards the floor. Step the back foot in a bit, plant the foot 45 degrees, setting up for pyramid pose. Okay, so pull that left hip point back behind you. Your choice to stay with the hands on the floor or maybe on that front leg, thigh, hips. If you want to find a bit more core work, again, reach the hands forward. Maybe reach back through the left hand, finding a twisted pyramid. Take 2 more breaths wherever you are. And if you're folded forward, hands to the floor, think about lifting the heart forward, getting a nice flat back. 1 more breath in. Slow exhale. Good, and then wherever you are, plant the hands towards the floor. Bend into that front knee and step the back foot back into your low lunge. Take an inhale, lift through the heart. Exhale, plant the hands, step back to plank, optional flow here. Meeting back in downward facing dog. And then from downward dog, let's look towards the hands, bend the knees. Step or hop towards the front of your mat into a forward fold. From there, separate your feet about hip width apart. Soft bend in the knees if you need it. You're gonna grab your peace fingers and clip them onto the big toes. So this is where maybe really bent knees, it will feel a lot better. You can reach for that, that's totally fine. Think about opening the elbows out beside you. And with every inhale, you're lifting the hips up higher. And with every exhale, you're hugging yourself closer towards your thighs. So that might look a little bit more like this, and that's totally fine. Your inhale might just be another inch. Your exhale may just be another millimeter. Let's take 1 more breath in. Exhale, let it go. And then release your peace fingers from the big toes. Slowly round up to stand, 1 vertebra at a time. Once you make your way up to stand, find equal stance, mountain pose. Shine the palms of the hands forward, roll the shoulders up and back. Okay, finding a final expression of heart opening, hip opening, shoulder opening. We're gonna find that full dancer's pose in standing. Remember to come, if you fall out, just take a breath and come back in. Let's start by grounding our weight into the left foot. You're gonna bring the left hand to left hip. Flip the right palm out beside you, palm facing up. From there, bend into the right knee and slip the hand on the inner arch of that foot. Okay, so if you were to look in a mirror, that foot is, the heel is tucked in right behind you, and you can evenly see both shoulders. Okay, you can stay right here, hugging that foot in towards the tailbone, or if you want to go into a bit more heart opening and hip opening, reach up through the left hand, and then start to kick into the right hand. Okay, so if you're side profile, you're kicking into that back hand, feeling a nice stretch through the hip flexor. Try to keep shoulders over hips for now. Keep kicking, keep breathing. When you feel like you can't kick anymore, then maybe start to tilt forward, finding a bit more openness through the heart, offering your heart forward. Let's take 1 more breath here. In. Exhale, slowly release, back up to stand. Release the right foot down. Release both hands down. Find your mountain. If you want to shake out the legs a bit, that's a lot of work. If the low back is pinching, just stand still for a moment. Breathe into the feet. Bring that heart rate down. Breathe into the belly. Remember, breath as a cooling sensation. When you're ready, let's get into the other side. So grounding our weight over into the right foot this time, right hand to right hip. Flipping the left palm up towards the sky beside us, and then slipping it on the inner arch of that left foot. Again, try to feel that left shoulder actively squaring itself forward. You can stay right here again, or maybe reach up through the right hips, or the right hand. Maybe start to kick into that back foot. Kicking, kicking, breathing. Maybe every inhale you kick a little bit more. In the exhale, you ground down through that standing leg. When you can't kick anymore, maybe start to tilt forward a bit, offering the heart a little bit more.
How's your breath? Let's take one more breath in. And then slow exhale, come back up to stand, release the bottom foot. Nice, feel free to give your legs a bit of a shake again. Give the shoulders a nice roll up, back and down. Shine the palms of the hands forward. Let's find that strong mountain. And then with the next inhale, blink the eyes open, reach the arms up and overhead. Let's find one more sun salutation here. Exhale, forward fold over the legs. Inhaling, lift halfway, offer the heart forward. Exhale, plant the hands, step or hop back to your plank, finding your vinyasa, your flow. Fully fill the lungs and belly on the inhale. Slow exhale to downward facing dog. From here, you're going to bend the knees, come high on the toes, look towards the hands, and step or hop through to seated. Okay, from there, extend the feet out in front to start. Point the toes up towards the ceiling, sit up nice and tall, bring the hands to the side of the hips, finding that staff pose. Sit up a little bit taller. And then just float the hands up towards the ceiling. Inhale. Exhale, forward fold. Any amount, just reach the hands as far forward as you can. Reach the heart as far forward as you can. Take one more inhale to reach even further, and then just drop the hands anywhere beside the legs. If that's up here, that's totally fine. Keep thinking about lifting the heart forward, pulling the hips back behind you. If you're further forward, maybe grabbing for the bottoms of the feet. With your next breath in, slowly come back up to seated. And then you're going to cross the right ankle over the left thigh, creating a number 4 shape with your legs. Okay? If you feel like you have more space in the hips today, or you want some more intensity, you can also bend into the left knee and stack the left shin underneath the right. If that right knee is really high and you feel like you're leaning over, consider keeping that bottom leg extended straight out in front. You'll still get a nice stretch to that hip flexor. And you can stay right here, nice and tall, or if you want to find a forward fold, start to walk the hands out in front, maybe releasing the heart forward. If you want to find a bind here or a shoulder opener, you can wrap the hands behind you, grab for opposite elbows, or maybe find reverse prayer, so palms to palms behind the chest, and then think about folding forward. I'm not as open through my shoulders, so I'm just going to find hands to the floor and think about lifting my heart forward. Wherever you are, consider closing the eyes to remove that visual stimulation. Maybe flip the palms up towards the ceiling if you have the hands out in front, releasing that resistance against the floor. Take another breath in, and exhale into that shape. Slowly make your way back up to seated if you're folded forward. And then just gently release both feet out in front and give the feet a little bit of a wiggle or a shake, releasing out the hips. And then we'll come onto the other side. So this time the left ankle over the right thigh. Again, if you want to make it more intense, you can stack shins on top of each other. If lotus is part of your practice as well, you can go right into that. Otherwise, you can find whatever shape you find not the most resistance, but any resistance that you can still breathe comfortably into. From there, sitting up nice and tall, deciding if you want to just fold forward, bringing the hands out in front, maybe flip the palms up towards the ceiling, or if you want to find that bind or reverse prayer, releasing the hands behind you, and then releasing the heart forward. Maybe consider closing the eyes again if that's comfortable. Really listening to where you're feeling this in the body and breathe into those spaces where you feel resistance. Lengthen out your exhales. Let's take one more breath in. Slowly exhale. Gently release your way back up to seated. Releasing any binds, releasing the feet out in front. Again, give them a bit of a wiggle or a shake. And then when you're ready, just keeping the feet extended out in front. You're going to release the hands out in front, palms facing up towards the sky. Relax the shoulders back. Take an inhale here to lift up nice and tall. On the exhale, take a round through the spine, pull the low belly in, and slowly round down one vertebra at a time, all the way onto your back. Try to keep the heels pressing down the whole time, eventually making your way onto your back. From here, we've got one more shape. You're going to bring the soles of the feet together and open the knees wide into a butterfly. If you want a bit more openness, you can again release the hands overhead, cactusing the arms, maybe a diamond shape. Or you can just rest the hands on the belly and just feel the breath between the hands. Just giving the knees and the hips a moment to open here. Feeling a sense of vulnerability, again, maybe through the front of the body. Vulnerability being neither good nor bad, just a sensation of being in your own body and accepting everything that's happening in this moment as it is. You can choose to stay right here, or if you want to come out of the hip opener for your final resting shape, bring the hands to the outside of the knees and close the knees in together like a book. Hug them into chest, maybe give yourself one more little hug, maybe rocking side to side, massaging up the low back. And then draw nose towards the knees, squeeze yourself into the tightest ball that you can think of. Take a nice deep breath in, close the eyes. Exhale, slowly extend into your final Shavasana, your final resting shape. Either feet out to the corners of your space, or if you want to find that butterfly shape again, you can go for it. Arms out beside you or overhead. I just invite you to flip the palms up towards the ceiling in a gesture of receiving all that good energy we've just cultivated. Give yourself 2 minutes here of full rest. As you come deeper into the natural ebb and flow of your own breath, just allowing the thoughts to quiet here. Feeling the connection to the earth. And then start to bring your awareness to the heart center here. Acknowledge whatever feeling, physical, emotional, may be going on there. For a lot of indigenous cultures, this summer season, especially the solstice, is a celebration of the strawberry, which we call the heart fruit. Not just because it's in the shape of a heart, but because it exudes love, community, family. So maybe thinking of that sensation in your heart center as a strawberry, sending sweetness and joy throughout the body. Slowly start to bring your awareness back into the space around you. Noticing the sounds, the smells, the taste inside the mouth. You can stay right where you are in your final resting shape, or start to wiggle into the fingers and toes, rolling the wrists and ankles, gently nodding the head side to side. You can start to reach the arms back behind you, zipping the toes together, taking a nice long stretch like you're waking up first thing in the morning. And then gently bend into the knees, rolling over onto your favorite side, using the bottom arm as a pillow. Maybe keeping the eyes closed if that feels good. And when you're ready, coming up to a seated position, bringing the hands to heart center where we started. Closing into the eyes again if that's comfortable. Really noticing how the body feels in this moment. Acknowledging that energy we've cultivated for ourselves, that energy we've shared virtually with each other, feeling gratitude for the care we've given to ourselves. When you're ready, take a nice deep breath in through the nose. Open the mouth, exhale. Blinking your eyes open. When you're ready, taking a bow to still our practice. Gratitude to each of us and to nature for this beautiful day. Namaste. Thank you all so much for sharing your time with me.